Hey guys, we're back with another podcast here. We got the I'm gonna let him introduce himself to y'all. Go ahead, Sheriff.
I'm Chief Deputy Webb with the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office.
Bet that Chief Deputy Webb. Chief Deputy Webb. Me and you were having a conversation earlier about what your agency could bring. Let's continue. So, how would the hiring and application process, and what would you guys offer to people, the civilians that would like to join your agency? What would you guys offer them? What divisions? What career paths would you guys offer?
Well, as I was saying earlier, everybody will start probationary deputy. While you're in training with your FTO, I believe I'll have to talk with the sheriff about it, but I believe pay is about 65 to 70, and it's like 75 for lateral trainees. And then once you are sworn in deputy, I think you gotta get in there for about, I think it's like a year, and then your pay will be up to, I think it's like 80, 85. And then with your rank being increased, the pay goes up and up. Another thing we have just recently brought up is details and overtime. You can also make more than what your regular salary is by working details and overtime with the department. So,
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Now, the Department of Public Safety has a Bureau for Aggressive Tactics. I've seen these black EBRSO cars driving around. What's those right there?
our SCAT unit, those are more of our trained deputies. They are more of a task force for the department, if you will. We'll send them out on fugitive, they'll go get people that we need for our department. They'll serve with SWAT. They are a very tactical unit for our department. So more dangerous, high-risk situations, you'll always see a SCAT car there.
All right. That's a great thing right there. We love to scat, we love to see. Um, so, how do you feel about the partnerships between all our agencies coming together, as you see with the Joint Training Command and DPS helping sheriff helping the department, including the Mental Health Command, mental health response team that they've recently brought in? How are we feeling?
I think it's a very good thing. I think it shows our community that we're trying as far as crime rate, as us getting together and taking down people the exact same, just wearing different uniforms with the same work ethic. It's a good thing to see different officers, different troopers, deputies working together to get the same goal done, and that's to lower crime in the area. So
Great, very great. Now, usually we have at my podcast, I say all the time when I'm talking to state legislation, to the governor, if you will, the mayor, that our number one tactic, our number one priority is lowering the crime rate. And how we do that is officer presence. The officers being where they're supposed to be. When one needs help, you call them. What would you say? Is that a number one thing inside of our agencies? Officer presence to deter the crime rate?
say 100. More cars we get on the street, the better. The problem is we don't really have a lot of people that want to do this job, and that's an issue. So us increasing pay, little things like that, it's a very good thing to get officers on the team, or
Mm,
deputies or troopers for whatever team it may be. But it's a good thing to have cruisers out on the street patrolling.
perfect. Um, so what do you see? Where do you see the agency in 5 years? 4 or 5 years? Like, what's the long game you guys are playing here? What do you guys want to see?
I'm gonna say we probably want to get at least 2 more canines. We recently just brought in one. It was a donation from a local like agency for a fundraiser that raised money up for we can get the dog. Very good dog, narcotics dog, very good. I want to see if we can get maybe two more canine officers, deputies. I'm sorry. Um, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, I want to see if we can get some pay up for these deputies. They work very hard. I know that pay after your first year as a sworn-in deputy goes to about 80, 85. Um, so I want to see if we can raise that a little bit for our deputies. Maybe a little bit more detail opportunities as working hospitals or stores or SRO detail, that type of thing. So we'll see down the road. Also, I want to see that crime rate decrease very very
Yeah, yeah.
dramatically.
Hell yeah. Uh-huh. Lieutenant, you got anything for Chief Deputy Lieutenant?
I do not. I
Yeah.
like everything that's been said so far.
Well, I'm gonna just keep on asking questions until he say he ready to go. Shit, if you don't mind. All right. Well, shoot. Let's see. Can you tell us about the recent changes in y'all training and how that's impacting the agency, impacting the
Yeah,
civilian?
so our goal of the department right now is to get more high up rankings filled before we start flooding it with deputies, which we've done, I'd say, pretty good. We have a very good HR team on our department. Training will be consisting of more safety for the officers, I feel like, than anything. Officer awareness, basic things of that, but they make a huge difference when you're out dealing with people. You know, like welfare checks. That's one that I really, really dangerous one, because you have no idea how that person's going to come out to you.
Yeah.
Traffic stops. Just the entire ordeal in general would be a rework, if you will. So we're going to trade them up.
Yeah, right. That's fucking perfect. I love to hear the training that our officers and deputies and troopers are receiving should be top of the notch. It shouldn't be that DEI situation where we're training them to be soft. We have to have aggressive officers. Now that's gonna bring me to it. Most people say the Department of Public Safety is too aggressive, right? Which we'll sit down and say in many cases our aggression has gotten a little too far, but we are gonna keep the foot on the gas, right? So I have to ask you guys this, because you guys are just bringing out your SCAT team, which I've heard is supposed to be a somewhat aggressive on crime. So how are you guys going to balance between aggressive law enforcement and community trust?
Well, you give in what you take. That's how I think on that. The community wants lower crime rates. We got to be more effective in doing so. So more aggressive tactics. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be throwing people on top of cars, but
Yeah.
there will definitely be more looking around for crime. Definitely more, trying to get them as quick as possible. We recently just revamped some of our policies, such as pursuits. Pursuits, as of right now, we are chasing until the supervisor deems it unsafe. And as far as pit maneuvers go, we also changed that policy to where it is only allowed if absolutely necessary. So pits should not be done unless absolutely necessary.
And we got different views on that one,
Sheriff. 100%. Ours right now, I believe that if Louisiana State Patrol or DPS, if you guys get in line, I think we worked with you guys on that policy. I know that you guys have a try and get in front policy. We'll let LSP or DPS take it if they get in the pursuit. Our policy right now is if absolutely necessary. So trying to avoid as much as that as possible. So
Okay, and, we got different views, but trust and believe the job still will get done. Job still will get done because we have seen a great reduction in crime going so far. So in the moment of crisis, what's your decision like? Your decision making. How does your agency stay grounded? Because we've seen a number of times where officers will go inside a building high and stressed, and then it's turn into blue on blue, or a civilian gets injured. How do we effectively train our officers or give them that mental health to keep them, grounded? Because DPS, we looking into different things, but how does the sheriff department do it?
Well, main thing that we will probably incorporate is time is all we have. We were not going to train our deputies to just immediately go. Use the time that you have. There's no rush, unless absolutely unsafe. And social awareness and just deputy readiness is one of the bigger things. Cool Calm Collective is another one. Deputies have to know that just because they're getting screamed at does not mean that they can outlash. And a lot of times you see more recently in other departments doing that, and we want to train ours to not do that and stay cool collective. So
yeah. And I'll tell you, this is one of our last questions, and then you can ask us some questions if you like. If you could tell your deputies one thing, something they should never forget, what would it be?
I'd say you're going to see a lot of stuff, and you may not expect some things, but they still happen that night that you think you're just going to have an easy one. So always stay open-minded and always stay on your toes.
All right. Well, do you have any questions for the great Department of Public Safety?
No, I mean, other than if you guys are going to be at that fair pretty soon.
No, yeah, I mean, you want us there, we'd be there. Who y'all?
Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it.
All right, Chief Deputy, thank you for your time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that was the end of our podcast with the great Chief Deputy of the Department. Of the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff Department. We will be attending their fair once they tell us the time and date. It's a great thing that they're doing here. We love the kids. We're going to educate them the best we can. Also, be prepared. We've gotten word that a senator may be coming into town, and you're going to need an escort. So you guys be out on the lookout to see our cool cars, our amazing agency working with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff Department. It's going to be great. Thank you, guys.